folks. Welcome back to Finding Data Friends. Today we are joined by Matt. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Matt, as you said, Gordon. I'm a senior architect for Centric Consulting. So I do cloud nerd stuff, mostly data stuff, some AI nerd stuff too.
Awesome.
And
I mean, you wrote a book about some AI nerd stuff, so
I did. I do dabble in it. Yeah, I like to think it was a decent book.
it was. It helped me personally a lot. So,
well, thank you. That's awesome.
And again, we will never know if the chapters that actually helped me were written by you. So, we're gonna.
We don't need to go into that. Yeah.
We'll just pretend they were.
That's right. That's right.
I'm pretty sure
anything that was helpful was obviously me. Yeah.
Perfect.
It's kind of a given. At this stage, hello, dear fellow authors of Matt. He was just throwing you under the bus, but
they were awesome. I just helped a little bit.
That's cool. Writing a book is such a massive project. It's always good to have multiple people to share the load with, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Multiple, yes, but also not too many.
Even though I knew what I was getting into, I still didn't know what I was getting into, because I'd had enough friends that did it. They're like, it's really tough, but we were going to spread out across co-authors, and yeah, it's writing a book is an undertaking, whether there's one of you or five of you. It's
totally.
Never easy. So it's good to hear when people are like, hey, that helped me, or I learned this thing from it. That's really nice to hear, because it's a lot of lonely late night work.
And, well, the issue with your book is, at least from the way I imagine it, not that it's an issue of the book, but more an issue of the authors, is the books that I did, especially the books I did with Enrico and Anthony, basically we had all the content for that baked. So we were basically transforming a bunch of sessions into a book, which is still work, but you more or less, except for the theoretical part, which I all left to Anthony and Enrico. So they had to deal with it. That was a smart move on mine end.
It really was, yeah. Yeah, ours, I would say, was about half and half. Some of it was session-based stuff, and some of it was, hey, this doesn't fit well in a session, but we really want people to know about this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we came at it from all sides.
Yeah, that's cool. So, Matt, one of the things we like to ask on the podcast is what your favorite data thing is. So you want to share that with us?
We will allow your favorite AI thing instead.
Okay.
Just as an exception for you.
True.
Okay. Well, I will always have a soft spot in my heart for cognitive services stuff, because it led to my first book. It opened so many doors for getting to go speak at cool places. It's always fun to see the light bulb come on for people, like, hey, not only is this stuff cool, there's actually some pretty easy ways that I can go play with it. And that kind of leads into my favorite data thing. What I found I enjoy most is it's always fun to go to a customer where there's a lot of really awesome data people and they're doing bleeding edge stuff. That's always fun. But what I seem to like the most is when you go somewhere where they're not up to speed on all the stuff. That's why we're there. And when you watch the light bulb go on, when they're like, well, we're doing all this stuff in Excel, or we're doing all this stuff, but it's just in SQL Server, and we don't have a good place to store these other things. We're kind of aware that we can move stuff to the cloud and there's new stuff. Then when you start to show some of that and you see them go, oh yeah, this is so awesome. And then they start to say, well, can we do this? What about this? It's really fun to see that happen. And I've found that's what I enjoy the most, is you've kind of opened part of a world to somebody. They're like, well, we've done it this way for 10 years. We know it takes a long time. We know it's no fun for our team. And then you show them something where they're like, this is great. This is really going to help us. And we're going to have fun doing it. That's what I like the most with work stuff. I never thought that would be the case. I always thought it would be like, well, I want to work on the newest thing, which is still cool, but it's more fun to watch people kind of learn and grow.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing with the newest thing is always, newest things are, well, a part of the fact that newest things are always annoyingly buggy, but also
yes.
In most cases, you're either leaving your customer entirely behind, or you're committing yourself to an entirely niche customer base, because tech moves faster than regular companies do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah, and I can think of a couple times over the years where, we had a customer say like, put us on the latest and greatest whatever. And then we did. And then Microsoft chose to go a different direction that did not include the solution that we had left with them. And that's no fun. Sometimes it's kind of funny to be, I was the last person to do a project on technology XYZ. But yeah, it's you're right. You do end up with some very, very niche things where it's like, oh, you were one of the 3 places that did that. It's like, yes, that was us. So yeah, we try to steer folks away from those as much as we can. But listen, sometimes their use case puts them in a corner a bit. So
maybe this is how you get repeat customers, though. You set up this whole solution with this niche thing that's just come out, and then it goes a different route, and you can be like, well, don't worry, we've got this shiny thing now.
Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, you certainly never set out to do that, because I always feel bad when it's like, hey, the thing that you really like that's helped you, Microsoft's not investing in that anymore. But right, there's usually no hard feelings, because for the most part, none of us knew that. And yeah, sometimes it does set you up.
BDC
like,
customers, I didn't do it on purpose.
Disclaimer along the bottom.
Whenever anybody ever asked me about those, I just sent them straight to you, Ben. None of them.
I wonder why they stopped that.
I have thoughts about that, but they will not fit into 15 minutes. So
you might have to edit the podcast a bit too.
And when we don't do that, because it's a video podcast, and editing video is, at least editing continuous video is not so great.
Do we at least have like bleepers to bleep out all of your swear words?
All of them? I mean,
I was told I couldn't swear. If I can swear, this is going to go a whole different.
Who told I think we've got to
change our YouTube. We've got to change our YouTube rating if we're having swear words.
Yeah.
Explicitly always tick the box that this video is not made for kids. So,
then we're fine. Go for it.
We're good. All right. Let them fly. Here we go. Yeah.
Now I'm all sad thinking about BDC again.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
And I'm trying to figure out, should I swear in German or English?
Oh.
Why not both? Be inclusive, that's kind of what we do here.
That's right.
It's true. It's true.
No, I'm pretty sure my kids will watch this, so we'll keep the swearing out of it.
Hi, kids.
Hi, kids, and boring. But anyways,
well, let's move on. Ben, what's our next question?
I got a question for you real quick, Jess. Now that we've mentioned Matt's kids, since the new plan is to abduct our guests and take them to entire, are we taking their families too, or is it only the guests?
It's
or are we taking that offline again?
In my mind, so I think guests only. But I think we'll get into more problems if we start abducting minors. This is probably not somewhere we want to go,
especially across international
if we got their
borders.
Parents with them, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's kind of frowned upon.
Well, just the guest for now.
But if
kind of frowned upon does not mean it's illegal.
It might be illegal. I would have to check, but I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Okay.
Try it once, find out.
That is a perfect cue for our next question. It seems like you're kind of a hobby lawyer, because you seem to know the law very well. However, I'm not sure if that is your favorite non-data thing to do. Do you have a favorite non-data thingy?
It's not amateur lawyering, because that tends to get you in trouble.
Damn.
I do like driving race cars when I get to do that. That's a lot of fun.
Same thing, but
yeah. Well, we try to keep those out of the courts too. So yeah, hanging out with friends, going fast. But yeah, I would say that's my favorite thing, and probably watching soccer with my kids turns out to be a pretty close second, which me 15 years ago would not have thought. But
that's fun.
I'm pretty sure Jess appreciates you saying soccer because that entirely answers the question. Because if you would have said football, it would have immediately triggered the proper football question.
Well, we don't do editing, but we are going to edit that word out and replace soccer with proper football.
Well, I should have really spiced up, made it very American-y, like soccer, but soccer, football, yeah.
We'll let you off this time.
Fair enough. Yeah, you can just edit it and put that across my mouth. Just kind of out here.
whenever someone swears or says, I mean, I guess saying soccer is like swearing, so same thing. We could start putting nerdicorns over their mouth just to bleep that out.
You
Great
could.
quest. Great.
You could. With a
Great
nice
thought.
sound effect. Yeah.
hmm
That would involve editing, but yeah.
Well, audio editing is not that big of a deal. The only thing is we don't want to kind of interrupt the continuous recording. So
Fair enough.
as long as the nerdicorn will be hovering over your bleeped out voice, I think that's entirely fine. And I'm pretty sure there's a way of automating that in Camtasia. So
there you go. Problem solved.
Perfect.
So I can just say soccer over and over again.
I will just make it a continuous bleep for 15 minutes. And
it ends up just being me and Ben talking to a nerdicon.
Basically, yeah.
What a pod.
It would be original. I'm pretty sure that would be something people have not seen before.
That's true.
Us talking to a bleeping nerdicorn for 15 minutes.
Add that to the ideas list.
Yeah.
Please remind me if I forget.
Will do.
Because I sometimes forget stuff like this. But getting back to your race car driving thing, what kind of cars are we talking? And I have no idea about cars. I know as much about cars as I press the key, or with these new fancy cars, I just open the door without pressing the key. Because how cool
technology
is that? Huh? Magic.
And
then I press start and then I go. But
so I used to race open wheel cars, which what I raced in the rest of the world was called like a Formula V or a Formula 1600. It was basically a Volkswagen powered car with no fenders, no top, and all of that. So I raced that for a long time and took care of it with a friend of mine. And then our kids got older and we got busier and had no time to work on it. And so then I found a way actually to race with a guy that I knew from that. His dad has stock cars, so big, loud American V8s with a roof, with fenders and all that. So my wife likes it much better. Makes very cool, expensive noises. And so I've been running those. This is season 5 now. So very lucky to do that. That's all I ever wanted to do when I was a kid. Turns out career choice wise, it's pretty tough. So I wasn't able to do that, but getting to do it 5 or 6 times a year now is pretty awesome. I am very fortunate. And occasionally we win stuff, which is nice. Not always, but just enough to keep us going back the next year.
Yeah, just because there's a possibility, right?
Just like golf, you hit the one good shot among 90 bad ones, and you're like, oh, I should play again. Racing's kind of the same.
I've actually never hit a good shot in golf. I've played a couple times, and they've both been very bad. So
I played for years, and I could count the number of good shots I hit on one hand.
See, why do people play that?
That's why I don't play anymore. I was like, this is silly. I'm bad at this. But every time I threaten to quit driving race cars to play golf, my friends that I used to play with, they're like, we used to play with you. You should really stick with the race car driving thing because you do have some trophies from that. You have no trophies from golf.
Perfect.
That's a way of encouraging others, I guess.
Kind of a backhanded encouragement. Yeah. Like, you suck at this less than this other thing. So, positive thinking, right? Yeah.
We're still driving race cars, so it seems like they kind of proven a point.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not terrible at it, which is nice. Of course, had I been, it would have saved me a lot of money.
Backing your skills there. I like it. So this watching proper football, were you in Columbus watching this weekend?
Columbus is yeah. So I was up there doing that. Columbus is away this weekend. I don't think I'll be back at a match until April, because now my son's season starts at March 11th. So every weekend is at a park or field or something until June, which is a great way to spend time.
So what you're saying is your son's season started 2 weeks ago, right?
Something like that. Yes. It starts soon after we recorded this, which is a day that I will not mention because I'm not supposed to.
I don't even know what day it is, to be fair, so it's cool.
Me either. I thought the day of the week that is today, that I will not say, was a different day of the week when I woke up. So
perfect.
Thus all the caffeine I've had since then, where I think I mostly know where I am and what day it is now. Just good.
I'm all for transparency. It is March the 9th.
Oh,
There,
You weren't
I
supposed to
said it.
say that. Oh man,
Now
the
everyone
facade
knows.
is ruined. Ugh.
The secrets. I
Way
thought
to go,
everyone
Matt.
thought this was live.
It's almost live. Another fun thing. This will be published right after Bits, as our audience may have just
Oh, yeah.
figured out. How did your session go, Matt?
It was spectacular. There were
love
thousands
it.
of people there. There was a
Wow.
standing ovation. People hugged me. There was weeping. It was great.
Any flowers
Whoa.
tossed on the stage?
No.
There will be now.
Perhaps, yes. But yeah. No, we'll just go with that. Thousands of people, standing ovation. People chased me
Nice.
out of the room to thank me. There was
Wow.
hugging. It was
Superstar.
rock star. I mean, you just can't ask for
Amazing.
anything else. And that definitely totally happened.
I can totally
heard it here
believe
first.
people chasing you out of the room. It does not sound like a made-up story.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. I think it's because they like it. Maybe not. There could be other reasons. I don't know.
Whatever you have to tell yourself.
That's right.
Excellent.
How did your sessions go?
Also so good.
That's what I thought. I mean,
Crushed
just
it.
it was
Mine
great.
were okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh well,
Way to
next
be
time we'll-
positive, Ben.
next time will be better.
I'm not so
Positive
sure about
thinking.
that. No. I'm pretty sure they were amazing as well. So
Well, no
sure.
matter how our sessions were, the event was spectacular.
there's that.
Yes.
And it was so great to see all of you in person again. So
Yes.
Mm.
and
And it
So
definitely
makes it-
didn't rain.
that's why I'm going. I'm not mainly going for the sessions.
What? We're allowed to
Yeah.
skip sessions? Like,
Nah.
huh? I thought it was like school. I had to go to all the stuff. Now that I know I don't have to go to all the stuff, this changes
Press
the whole
the
thing.
buzzer. Press the buzzer.
No, of course. work
Before
people,
Matt
I will
digs
be there
his
in
hole
every
even
session
deeper,
learning. Yes.
There it is.
I guess that's
This is-
time.
this is for your own protection, Matt. This
That's
is for your own protection. I'm
Thank
just
you.
saving you. That's what I do. But before we let you go, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for
Thanks
taking
for
the
having
time. It was great to see you last week at Bits.
Absolutely.
And if people want to get in touch to chat more with you, what's the best
Yes.
ways of reaching you?
I am SQL at Speed everywhere online. So that's on Twitter. I'm not on Mastodon yet. But yeah, SQL at Speed on Twitter, LinkedIn. My blog is SQLatspeed.com. My email address is creatively matt@SQLatspeed.com. So, and I would
Smart.
love to chat more. This is all about finding data friends, right? So I would love for people to reach out to talk football, soccer, race cars,
Smart.
nerd stuff,
Good.
whatever.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
again,
you.
and see you next time.
Bye.